Alright, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about the study of proxemics, which the book defines as the interrelated observations and theories of a man's use of space as a specialized elaboration of culture. Basically, the study of proxemics is the study of how communication is affected by the use, organization, and perception of space and distance. So this theory was developed by Edward Hall in the mid-20th century, and he developed this theory of proxemics, and he talked about it in his book called The Hidden Dimension, which goes on to define proxemics and the cultural differences, which he really goes into depth. He talks about how the way we perceive distance is culturally conditioned in us, but almost all of us have this invisible boundary that if it's violated, it causes us distress. And this boundary marks our personal space. According to Hall, there are two types of people in the world. There's contact people and non-contact people. And contact people, it's pretty self-explanatory, but contact people don't have any aversion to casual touch. If their personal space is violated, they don't see it as a violation. In fact, even if a perfect stranger touches them, they aren't offended by it at all. And these cultures, according to Hall, are usually Arab cultures, Southern Europeans, and Latins. And the next category is non-contact people, which of course these people have an aversion to casual touch, and any violation of their personal space is seen as offensive, and some people may even get angry about it. And these cultures, Hall describes, are usually Americans, Northern Europeans, and Asians, and cultures like that. So Hall also goes on to explain there's 4 different spatial zones in America, and he defines these zones, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them. The 4 zones are the intimate zone, the personal zone, social distance, and public distance. The intimate zone is about 0 to 18 inches, and in this zone, forced closeness doesn't count. It must be voluntary. Usually people in this zone are married or dating or very, very close friends. The personal zone is 18 inches to 4 feet. And this is about an arm's length away. If they stretch out their arms, they could be able to touch each other with their fingertips. Additionally, this is where a person stands with, and you can determine the closeness and degree of intimacy in the relationship depending on how close they stand to the other person. The social distance is 4 feet to 10 feet, and this is an impersonal interaction. And actually, Hall says that it's okay if a person is more than 8 feet away to even ignore the person's presence. So for example, if a secretary is looking down at her desk doing work and someone walks in the door of her office building, it's okay for her to not even look up until they're about 8 feet away. The public distance is the next and last distance, and this is 10 feet to infinity. And usually this is the distance of lectures in a classroom or mass large meetings, or the distance of public figures. Of course, the public figures or other people can beckon you to come closer, but you're not going to intrude on their personal space or go further or closer than 10 feet. M. Griffin goes on to talk about researchers that have found that proxemics is not just a study of communication in and of itself, but it's part of an integrated system of nonverbal communication. And he talks about the equilibrium theory, which is essential to understanding proxemics. The equilibrium theory says that any relationship can be plotted on a scale showing the degree of intimacy, and it suggests that nonverbal actions such as eye contact or distance will be adjusted according to the degree of intimacy. So for example, if you're placed too close to a person and you're uncomfortable with the distance, you'll balance out what you feel is comfortable by averting eye contact. Additionally, M. Griffin lists some critiques of Hall's theory. Hall makes some sweeping generalizations. Of course, we talked about the 2 contact cultures, contact and non-contact, and there's only 2 of them according to Hall. And the next one is cultural stereotypes, which Hall especially goes into when he discusses Arabs and Americans in his book. The third one is unsubstantiated claims, which Hall makes scientific claims without actually having the scientific proof to back it up. It's mostly just theories. And the fourth one is conceptual confusion, which M. Griffin defines as a vague blend of cultural and biological determinism. So in conclusion, while the details of Hall's theory may leave much to be desired, the impact of the theory has gone a long way in the study of nonverbal communication and understanding different cultures. And it is valuable to us when we go to visit these cultures because we understand how people read space and how they feel comfortable within their certain personal zone. So thanks, guys. That's all.